I thought it was a comedy skit. I watched the first 1 second. I was like, that's funny. Okay. And then he just started talking about inclusion. I don't know what the happened to that chat. Okay.
Imagine for a moment the unimaginable happened.
Yeah.
A major city is hit by a nuclear weapon. Now, no number could account for all the devastation that would result.
Oh.
But we can put a number on the deaths. At least we can make an educated guess based on our understanding of what nuclear blasts do to city structures.
This is going to be NA soon, chat. It's going to be NA soon.
We'll assume the bomb is detonated in the air to maximize the radius of impact, as was done in Japan in 1945. But here we'll use an 800 kiloton warhead.
I'm joking.
A relatively large...
It's not going to be just NA. It'll be NA, Russia, all major capital cities. I'm talking like, no. I mean, especially if you live near a military base, you're definitely going to get hit.
Bomb in today's arsenals.
China.
And 100 times more powerful than the bomb dropped on Hiroshima.
Oh, bro, what the f?
Upon detonation, a fireball as hot as the sun would expand to a radius of 800 meters. Those near the blast would be vaporized.
That's be the best death, right? I want to be in the vaporizing zone. Because then it's like, it'd be like immediately going to sleep, right? You'd be like, because then you'd be alive, and then you would just be dead. You'd be like, you wouldn't even know what happened. You'd be like, what the fuck's that? And you'd just be gone.
And within a 2-kilometer radius, all buildings would likely be destroyed.
Bruh. That's crazy.
And we'll assume that virtually no one survives inside this area. Which, based on population density, would start the death tally at 120,000 people.
That's not that many. It's not that many. I mean, okay, it's a decent amount, but it's not that many.
As you move further away from ground zero, estimating deaths becomes...
Isn't that like the average COVID deaths a day in America or something?
...becomes more complicated. From as far away as 11 kilometers, the radiant heat from the blast would be strong enough to cause third-degree burns on exposed skin.
Okay.
And as you get closer to the blast, the heat becomes so intense that clothing, even skin, would ignite into flames.
Jesus Christ, what? You just conflagrate?
That said, most people in the city would be indoors or otherwise sheltered from direct exposure. But the very structures that offered this protection would then become a cause of injury, as debris would rip through buildings and rain down on city streets.
This physics look off, I'm gonna be honest.
As a rough estimate, we can assume that half the people between 2 and 11 kilometers from the blast are killed. From burns, debris, smoke, collapsed
50-50, right? I'll survive
and
that.
radiation
Watch
sickness.
this. Watch this. Would I survive the fucking 2 km to 11 km blast?
The outlook is good.
Okay, yeah, that's right, chat. That's how we do it. I mean, what can I say? That's how I
Which
do it.
translates roughly into an additional 500,000 people.
Okay.
Many of these deaths will occur days, even weeks after the attack. Radiation sickness takes about a week to cause death.
Bruh.
And much of the dust and ash produced from the explosion will be dangerously radioactive, especially if it originated near ground zero.
You're supposed to stay indoors,
And
right?
the distance the particles travel
Close
will
your
depend
windows.
on the wind and other factors. Now, since this simulation is of an airburst attack, it will produce significantly less radioactive fallout than ground attacks targeting missile silos or bunkers. So we'll go with a relatively small number of deaths outside the 11-kilometer range.
That's pretty good.
If it were a surface
Honestly?
blast, the fallout deaths could surpass all other deaths combined, but it's a very difficult number to predict. In theory, radiation deaths can be reduced if people can avoid exposure to the fallout, especially during the critical first few days.
Yeah.
Fallout shelters were common during the Cold War. But people
Bro,
rarely...
If you're in NA, get a fallout shelter. If you're in NA near a military base, get a fucking fallout shelter. Facts, bro. Facts. Just get one. Like, that'd be worth it for the, like, you guys got hurricanes and shit there as well, right? So, you know.
build shelters today.
Get one, bro.
And schools no longer practice nuclear war drills. We generally talk less about surviving a nuclear attack. And in a way, it's good that we're less afraid of the bomb now that the Cold War is over. When nations are less on edge, the risk of accidents is arguably reduced.
My mutually assured destruction is
But
pretty
nuclear
OP.
weapons remain one of the great threats to humanity. And today, we're entering a new era in nuclear weapon history.
Oh shit, bro, what the fuck?
Long-standing nuclear arms treaties are being reassessed, and countries big and small face the prospect of new arms races.
Oh shit.
In part because technology is emerging that may give one side a considerable strategic advantage, notably hypersonic weapons.
Oh shit, but wait.
Current nuclear missiles travel around the Earth at high altitudes.
All you need is a couple though, right? All you need is a couple. Like, you don't need many people to have it. Like, I don't even understand why. I think, like, everyone should de-escalate,
making
surely.
them visible by radar earlier in their flight. Now, some hypersonic vehicles travel close to the Earth, through the atmosphere, at least 5 times the speed of sound,
Bruh.
giving defending countries far less time to react. And remember that some of the most perilous moments during the Cold War occurred when countries maneuvered to reduce their opponent's reaction time. And the less time countries have to react, the more likely an accident will occur, or a rash judgment. And then you have smaller nukes.
Yo, what do you reckon, guys? Do you think NA has fucking crazy tech that they're just hiding, bro? They're hiding, bro? That actually gives them, like, invulnerability to nukes. What do you reckon? Do you reckon NA has some crazy shit? Like, do you reckon they got some crazy shit that they're just, like, it's just like ultra omega top secret? They got, like, they go around and they have, like, fucking government scouts that, like, pick out the best fucking smartest dudes and take them to some secret base and make them sign, like, fucking crazy NDAs where you fucking die if you tell the truth. And then they have them working on some shit. Like, I don't know, dude. Shit. Maybe, dude. Maybe. You never know.
That blur the line between conventional and nuclear weapons,
What does DARPA know, though?
providing a more slippery path to nuclear escalation. Now, for ordinary citizens, nuclear weapon policy may seem like a complex, even intimidating topic. But leaders often consider public perceptions when making policy. In many countries, voter opinion is an important factor. Whether you believe nuclear weapons have made the world safer or more dangerous, both sides generally agree that the bomb brings an unparalleled risk, and that there are things we can do to...
What if you can't? It's definitely okay. If they have them and you don't have them, then you're definitely less safe. Like, for example, New Zealand, we have no recourse. We have no mad. Someone could just bomb us in this state. We can't fight back. Right? But I mean, yeah.
reduce the risk. Like minimizing how many countries get the bomb, or scaling back Cold War arsenals, or stabilizing technology races, or pledging to never be the first one to strike. Such ideas have often resulted in signed treaties, some of which have held for decades. Some are at risk of expiring, and some just need a final push to become activated.
Yeah,
By
we
being
want to attack first.
steadfast in these efforts and not walking away from diplomatic achievements, we can continue the work of ensuring that this nightmare simulation never becomes a reality.
Oh, for sure. If someone nuked New Zealand, then they would definitely get nuked back, right? I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. If someone like fucking destroys New Zealand, the thing is, no one's gonna nuke New Zealand. Why are you gonna nuke New Zealand, dude? We have our entire armed force is less than 5,000 people. We have one fighter plane. Like, oh shit! If you're nuking New Zealand, then you're just nuking civilians for no reason. Like, let me just nuke New Zealand for no reason, right? Now, if US had like a crazy base here and they had like ships and like loads of dudes here or something, okay, for sure, then you got a reason to nuke us. But right now, there's literally no point. Like, well, it's not a target. We're in the middle of nowhere. It's not a good strategical position. It's just all around. Like, if anything, you'd want to capture New Zealand and then use it as some sort of like outward base, you know? And we would get like put in prison camps and shit, and they would just use our infrastructure. Yeah. You know,
If you would like to learn about specific policies
very,
that could
very
help reduce...
Because he is
God game, God game, God